Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of the Giant Blue Podcast. I am your host, Jack Macmillan. With me as always, your co-host, Sean Guy. Back by popular demand, Iona Francis.
Hello.
And special guest, Kosta Hatzivalsamis.
Hi.
How you going?
Yeah, great, good.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me, thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome.
So polite. Well done, guys.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Kosta.
A bit about myself is that, just a school leaver, and this year has just kind of been like trying to feel my way around the theatre sort of drama world a bit, and I think I'm getting a good taste for it, and I'm getting a great taste for it on this podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We're all actors here.
Yeah.
Hamming it up for the microphone in the video.
Love
cool.
to do voice acting or something. That'd be so much fun, I reckon. Love to
No
do
one
that.
can people don't see you. You just
That's right.
provide the
Well,
voice
it's a
and
lot
stuff
of
like that.
work. I was reading into it and stuff, and just like the type of facial expressions that you have to make and to build
For
these
voice acting?
Yeah, like to build these characters and all that. They ask for quite a lot more than just your voice.
And trying to sound like you're tired or whatever, as you're like, I don't know, in like a fight scene. Imagine sitting in
Yeah.
a small room, like, just going,
This-
Yeah,
the
that's
actress-
true, actually.
Yeah, the actress that does like the new Lara Croft Tomb Raider games, they talk about that, all the deaths that she has to do. They're like, all right, you're like, have been stabbed and you're drowning. Make that noise. She's like, yeah. They're like, again.
I never even thought of that.
Like just all the different stuff. Yeah, it's pretty taxing to convey so much emotion with just your voice.
yeah.
Question for you guys. This is my topic. This is just something I thought about. How important are... It's like a mini topic. How important are reviews to you guys? Like, before seeing, say, a movie
This is
or
a great
something.
topic. Can this be a topic?
It's just a yes or no question.
How important are
sure.
reviews to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
No, I was just thinking about, like... I don't know, like, because some people avoid reviews... Or, like, I think people that, like, already are hating on the film, they'll find the review that supports their argument. They'll be like, see, it's shit. This review says so. And you're like, okay.
I try and find a review, like someone that reviews films who I know that understands my type of...
Yeah, I think that's the trick of it.
That's
yeah.
my... So I don't hunt for... that because that's what a lot of people do, is hunt for a really bad review just to prove their point. But I kind of want to find someone that I know will kind of like the same films as me, and be like, hey, this is a great film to go and see. Then I'll be like, okay. And it's more of a guidance than it is an opinion for me.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
you-
the
that's
thing about
interesting.
reviews is that people will be like, oh, everyone's saying this or everyone's saying that. It's like, why do you care what everyone says? Like, I'll recommend it to you. I know you better than everyone. Like, it's about finding a review that, you know is going to suit your own sort of...
But isn't that just exactly what I said? Is you're seeking it out that's to support your argument? It's like sort of...
No,
an echo
it's
chamber
not
kind of
about...
thing?
It's not about trying to prove a point. It's about... It's like... It's before you've even made a decision on the film. Like, you're not trying to prove something. You're trying to, like, get an idea of it from someone that you know you trust, I guess.
That's... Okay, I guess. So it's
Yeah.
like, I know you like Marvel movies.
Yeah.
If you said the new Marvel movie's good, then that's a good barometer.
Or, no, well, I'm biased, I guess, but because you and I... Let's say you and I have similar taste. If
Yeah.
you wanted to know if, like, Bad Times at the El Royale was good, and I said it was good, you could probably trust that.
Yeah.
But, like, if you said, oh, it looks shit, and I said it was good, and then you went looking for someone else who said it was shit, and then you were like, yeah, but he said, and I'll be like, why were you believing him over me?
Yeah. I guess I never really... Like Avengers, I know I'm going to go see that. Like, I don't need to see a review for that.
Yeah.
I find... Or, like, there's certain movies just like, I know I'm going to go see. I feel like I only use reviews if it's something I'm on the fence about. Especially with video games, if I'm buying it. Like, I'm like... I don't know about, like, obviously I'm going to buy Red Dead Redemption 2. I did buy Red Dead Redemption 2. But something that I'm kind of like, I don't know about this game. Like, I don't know if it's worth my money. I'll watch some reviews to, like, either tip the scales in whatever favor. Like, if all the reviews are positive, then that'll enforce my argument. Make me want to purchase the game, I think. That's the only sort of time I really...
But there's,
use
like,
reviews.
YouTuber reviews or something. They're probably guys you follow anyway, I guess. Like,
Yeah,
you would know them and
either
you
or.
would trust
Like,
them, I guess.
outlets like IGN or YouTubers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't get why people get so worked up about a review when you can just watch it yourself and then formulate your own opinion.
Well, yes.
I get, yeah, but but you brought up a pretty good topic, like, of trust, like, especially with friends. Like, if you know someone likes something, yeah, you take their opinion for it. But yeah, I don't seek out reviews. I much rather just prefer watching a trailer.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And then go like, ooh, yeah, it looks good.
You can usually tell if a movie's going to be rubbish from the trailer. I think you can.
Venom proved me wrong, because I always think I have a good barometer, and I think I've said it to you. I was like, Sean, I'm tired of like predicting things. It's like, I'm just like, it's going to be shit. Like Suicide Squad, everyone's like, nah, dude, Suicide Squad's going to be amazing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about this film. And then I saw it and I was like, eee. Actually, I enjoyed some parts of it, but then...
The Suicide Squad trailer was better than the
Well,
movie.
but yeah,
Very
it was like, do I like the Suicide Squad trailer? Or do I just like Bohemian Rhapsody? Yeah, because like, it was like, oh, it's so cool. Anywho, let's move on to actual topics. Unless anyone else has anything to say.
You were saying something about like how important are trailers? What do you guys think about trailers? How important are they?
100% important. But I'm very picky with my trailers. I've said this so many times on the podcast. I don't like a long trailer.
No.
I just want I want to see like a little scene that doesn't give away anything of the film.
Yeah, that's what I want as well.
I just want a little scene.
Not like cutting from bits and
Yeah.
everything, just like a scene.
Just a scene.
I think we've talked about that before, yeah. And Rooster Teeth that do Red vs. Blue, they did that. Their trailers were just like a prologue.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what...
Yeah.
Like a minute, 2 minutes, and like it was pretty cool. And because I think, I don't know if trailers are like, I wouldn't say get rid of trailers, because I think trailers set the tone or can set what you're expecting. Wait, expecting. That sounds weird when I say it. But even they can set expectations wrong. I think like they can make you go into it thinking something else. Like Jurassic World, I think. Like Jurassic World 2 completely like is different. Like the trailer just makes it look like dumb explosions and running and volcanoes, and that's like the first 10 minutes of the movie, and then it becomes like another movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty good film, actually.
Yeah, but I do agree that the I think they're called theatrical trailers, which are like 2.5 minutes. It sucks.
It's too long.
And I was watching something the other day, and it was like trailers, and I was just like, well, I've seen the whole. I know the whole movie. It's like every plot point. Like it's like, I think, was it Funny People with Adam Sandler? It's like in the trailer, it's like, oh, I have cancer, and then like. By the end of the trailer, he's like, "Oh, I've beaten cancer." You're like, "What?" Like, it's like it has like all the major turning points like in the trailer.
Have you seen that movie though? That is a rubbish movie.
I have seen that movie.
Did you like it?
No, but I kind of like everyone's like, "Oh, it's not funny," and I'm like, I think that was the point.
Yeah.
It's called Funny People, but all these people kind of suck.
They're all
aren't funny.
miserable.
They're all kind of just assholes and miserable people, and it's like I think that's the sort of meta joke, but which I think is a lot of Judd Apatow films, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't make an enjoyable film.
Yeah, it's like just because it's sort of it subverts your expectations doesn't mean it's clever. Me and my mum watched that, and I was like, "Oh, Mum, it'll be alright. You know, it's got all these like comedians in it. It'll be just a stupid 2-hour film." We were watching it, and we were like, "Oh man, this is sad."
Yeah, and it was meant to be like Adam Sandler's like comeback movie, because he did all those crappy movies, and then this movie.
Wait, Adam Sandler did a crappy movie? When was that? I don't remember a crappy Adam Sandler movie.
That's the Sean jokes.
Grown Ups got an Oscar, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Best original film.
I bet it probably did for something, like makeup or something like that. Like
the Suicide Squad Oscar.
Oh my god, yeah, that hurts. What was I going to say? No, because it made fun of that. His character in the movie, it was like all those movie posters of all these shitty movies that he did.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's really funny. Like, Adam Sandler's in on the joke. And then, as soon as after that movie came out, he then did like Grown Ups 2. Like, he then kept doing those shitty movies. Or he signed that deal with Netflix and he just like...
Oh, the ridiculous 6.
Oh, God.
That was tough to watch.
I mean, Netflix
Didn't
were like,
bother.
hey, the most watched movies on our service is Adam Sandler movies. So, like, let's give him like $6 million or something. Yeah.
I really enjoy teasers, especially the ones that grab mine are ones that aren't actually clips that are from the film or series. So like the Game of Thrones teasers.
Oh, it's like all the faces on the wall and stuff like that? Yeah.
Like ones like that are, they're really good. And they're just...
That wouldn't have worked, I don't think, as a trailer for season 1. Like, it only works because now you've already got a feel for it. Like, we don't need a trailer for season 6 of Game of Thrones at all, or season 7, whatever.
Yeah, you don't need a trailer for Avengers 4.
Yeah.
You're all going to go see Avengers 4, I think. Like, it's nice. It gets the hype building.
It'll build the hype, yeah.
Yeah.
What I would love the trailer for Avengers 4 to be would be just like a scene of all the guys who are left alive just sitting in a room chatting. Like, that would be enough for me, just to see them all together, like, how are we going to fix this? I don't know. And I'd be like, I get shivers just...
They should just do
Thinking about it,
They
yeah.
should just do more
that would
scenes
be
like
Or
really
that.
just another
nice.
shawarma thing where they all just sat like again like at the end of the first Avengers.
Yeah, I would watch the Shawarma movie,
Yeah,
they just do
absolutely.
that.
He's like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Half of all shawarma joints. Yeah, that'd be so funny.
I guess books are different because you have a blurb and you sort of read that, and you can get reviews as well for books.
Yeah.
But the way I often check a book is I like open it and read like a bit from the middle, like a page or something, because it's like you get a sample of the writing and of the
Right.
whatever. But like you're not going to spoil anything, hopefully. Not if it's halfway through. A lot of people do that. They just call it the middle of the book test.
Talking about Thanos and the snapping, it just reminded me of something I read on Twitter, which I didn't know. Like, do you remember your mama jokes?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that was still a thing. I guess with maybe younger people it is.
Maybe.
But it was like someone said on Twitter, it was like, oh, I was playing Fortnite and I got trash talked, and a kid said, your mum was so fat, Thanos had to snap twice. That was really funny. And I was like, I don't know, that's still a thing. Anyway.
That's a
On
clever
Fortnite,
one.
I guess.
Yeah.
The average demographic
Have
is
you
going to be like
played Fortnite?
14.
Have any,
I've watched people play Fortnite.
I have watched people play too.
That's a weird answer.
There's
This
like,
is the
No,
world
but
we
like-
live in now. It's like, have you played this
Then-
game?
No,
No,
but
but I've
you
seen
can
it.
tell who are the younger people on the podcast. Like, they've watched people play it. Yeah.
No, but it's more like I haven't like seeked out online to see someone play it. It's like I've been in the same room as someone
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
been playing it and been like, oh yeah, I'll like sit
think I
down
would
and
love
watch.
It's just
Room.
mayhem.
I'll
I've
just
not
sit
played
down.
it. I've
It's
completely like avoided that whole battle royale phase.
Yeah, so have I.
Like, I didn't
Not
play
intentionally, but-
PUBG or Fortnite.
Is Fortnite the one? I think I only saw like the Channel 9 like clip about how evil it is. That's probably my entire exposure of Fortnite.
Channel 9 are like video games, like public enemy number 1.
Drugs are like number 6 or 7.
Yeah. Well, have you seen that? There was a thing. It was like, there's like been like 200 divorce hearings that have listed Fortnite as a cause for the divorce.
Oh my
What?
Like amongst other
God.
things, it's like he's an asshole, he's a drinker, and it's like, and he plays too much Fortnite. Or something.
Is
like
Fortnite the one where you can build like structures?
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you try, like you shoot someone and you miss, so they build a fortress around themselves in like 10 seconds, and you go, oh.
It's pretty good though because you can just like build a bridge and run away from someone while they're like trying to shoot
I
them.
struggle to shoot someone when they're standing still.
That reminds me of,
Let alone
Yeah,
a building being made.
you know that scene in Wallace and Gromit, The Wrong Trousers, where
Yeah.
The track.
the train,
Yeah.
he's laying it in front of the train as it's going, like, that's what that reminds me of.
That's
And
what
that
it
is-
sounds like. Is that not what it is?
You know what, that leads perfectly into my topic of movies that defined you. Fucking Wallace and Gromit, that shit is so cool. And like Chicken Run and all those stop motion films like made me fall in love with like all that animation and stop motion stuff. So my topic, everybody, is movies that defined you. So not necessarily your favorite movies, but movies that sort of like in your sort of early stages of development really connected with you, and I think sort of helped made you as a person, I think, in what you really like. So like, if you're big into sci-fi, like if you saw Star Wars, which I did. and
Well,
like
Star
that.
Wars and Lord of the Rings, can we just knock them straight off? Because that's me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can name
Yeah, Lord of the
others.
Rings,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Stuff
so
done. Yeah.
Lord of the Rings for
Next
me.
topic.
I want to name more. I just want to agree on those.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Star Wars not so much because I didn't really understand them until I was a little bit older, and my family weren't as obsessed with them. But Lord of the Rings for me was more about the location because I grew up just around the
Kiwi
set.
Bruce.
Yeah, and it was just like really cool to see my countryside and see all these really familiar spots on the big screen and people and like play. It felt like real life for me because they were literally just hours away from where I lived, all these beautiful sets. So
Just
it
a
was
big
like
war against orcs happening in New Zealand, real life.
But it was just like, as a kid, it was just,
Helm's Deep. The Urukai are coming.
but it was
I
just,
want to watch Lord of the Rings with you, so that when you're just like, oh, I've met that orc. He
But
lives
it's just-
so close to me.
yeah, no, but it's just like, it really brought me back to home and made me really proud of like where I was from and stuff. So that's my big, that's why Lord of the Rings is mine.
It's like yeah. That's so funny because like I feel there's a movie called, I've not actually seen the movie The Water Horse, which is about
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
yeah,
that movie.
the Loch Ness Monster. They filmed it in New Zealand.
Did they?
Yeah.
They're like New Zealand looks more like Scotland on camera. Yeah. There's so many movies like that. They're just
Does
like,
that make you feel like home?
oh yeah, New Zealand. It reminds
Yeah.
you. I've not seen it. No.
Yeah.
I can't even think of it. So
Crusoe.
Brave.
Brave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met that girl.
Yeah, Christ.
Another one for me is The Producers.
Which one? The new one? Like with
The
Nathan
one
Lane?
with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell? Will Ferrell.
Ferrell.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I can't pronounce his name.
Was he
In
in the producer?
Which one's he in?
I think it was 2008 it came out, or 2000.
Oh, he plays the scriptwriter.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's the Nathan Lane one.
so-
yeah.
For a really big reason why that one is one. It's not like a favorite film, but it was.
Ooh, I just thought of
Springtime.
one.
It's
Hitler.
my dad is, he really struggles we struggle trying to find a film that we both like, and growing up it was always that film that we could sit down and watch together, so it's like that was the film for me.
Sorry, dude, I don't have a pen.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry, I pinched your pen.
Producers is a great choice. I really want to watch that again, actually.
Is that?
I've never seen it.
But Will Ferrell,
it's
is he also
fantastic.
in Better Than Fiction or
You know
more
who
than
Will
Stranger
Ferrell
than
is.
Fiction. Yeah,
Strange?
she's in
Yeah.
that movie,
Okay, cool.
That was like his sort of one kind of. He was a more serious
Yeah.
sort of role. Yeah.
Is that good? Stranger Than Fiction? Does anyone?
I've watched
haven't
the
seen
end
it.
of it.
Oh, how was the end?
Sad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, we go.
From memory, it's like. Yeah, it's like this. It's like one of those weird. It's like the author's writing it, but it's his life.
Right.
And the book, like, is it? It's like happening concurrently with him, or he reads it and then that's what happens. or something
He's
like
writing a book and he's in
that.
the
No,
book.
she's
I think.
writing the book.
Is she writing
but
the book?
It's him in real life, and he meets her, and he's like, "You gotta stop writing it." It is strange. It's called Stranger Than Fiction, and she was like planning to kill him off, and so he's like real worried, and
Right.
and he like befriends her, and then she can't do it because she's like.
What's that
Go
movie?
see that. It's weird. Go see it, everyone.
It's
I can't.
very strange.
It's been a while. It's Emma Thompson. She's the author.
Yeah, yeah.
She's great. Emma Thompson.
Have you guys seen Ruby Sparks?
Yes, it's kind of like that. A little
That
bit.
is a cool movie. He like writes. He's like writing a book, and he's got this perfect woman in it, and then he like meets her in real life, and he can like control her through what he writes.
Oh.
It's kind of
And
creepy. Yeah.
It gets kind of creepy. Yeah, that's a cool film.
I wish they did more. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't enjoy it that much, but it's an interesting concept.
It
yeah.
stuck with me for like a long time because that last like 20 minutes, I was like,
Yeah, that's.
Whoa.
I think I wanted more from that. Yeah, where he's just like constantly writing.
He writes stuff and just like her acting when she's like, it's amazing.
She's like transforming on the spot. Yeah, it's fucked.
Shrek 2.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
Shrek 1 would be up there as well because me and my sister used to watch that on repeat. But Shrek 2 is the movie that would have had the most effect on me, I think. Just the funny lines and like the subversion of like, yeah, Shrek 2 is just, man.
Well, because I always talk about this is like the one movie that everyone has the movie that you just watch over and over and over again, and like whether you remember it, like from really young, like from my brother, well, he might not remember, but I just remember him watching Bug's Life over and over
I
again.
watched that many times.
Yeah. I guess Power Rangers was the other one he watched, and he's big into fighting, I guess, because he does like MMA. I don't know if that influenced it, maybe. Like the power stances from Power Rangers. I guess for me, my movie was The Road to El Dorado.
Yeah.
I remember like on the VC, like I'd get to the end, I literally rewind it and just like watch it again.
Yeah.
And that movie has a lot of quick banter and stuff
yeah.
like that, and that's like really sharp.
And
And
that
really
whole
fun.
era of like Sinbad and like The Emperor's New Groove,
Yeah.
all of those films.
Treasure Planet.
They're all written by
Treasure Planet,
Empress New Groove.
Atlantis.
Ooh.
Yeah. But what was the other one? Yeah, and Shrek and stuff like that. Like it's all very funny. And then Well, because my parents are Scottish.
Chicken Run.
Chicken Run, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
Like at some point, I guess because when you have a kid, it's like a social experiment kind of thing. Like you just like, I wonder what he'll react to, like sort of thing. And I remember my parents at one point, my mum was just like, I wonder if he'll like Monty Python, and she kind of just like, here's the Holy Grail, watch it and come back to me. And I it like blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, like, and it's so good. I haven't seen it for a while, but it was just like all that kind of British comedy. Like at some point, my parents just like threw it at me, and it like I think my inner monologue in my head was British for a long time because I was listening to Eddie Izzard, I was reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I was watching Blackadder, Red Dwarf, Monty Python, like all that different stuff, and it was just like it is so, just has that British humor, that sarcasm, and that like that. Yeah, like that.
I was going to mention Monty Python as well, so I'm glad you brought him up. But I grew up in like a family with sort of a religious background, and we used to quote. People around me were always quoting Life of Brian. Like, you know, wherever there was a discussion at church, there would always be one person who'd go, "He's not the Messiah, he's a man." And so I remember watching him when I was like in my early mid-teens, and just that changed my life. Like the whole lot of them, the Holy Grail.
I think Australians like that humor as
Yeah,
well. Like,
it's
because I went to a friend's party and it was like 6 kids, 10 years old maybe, and we were all just watching Monty Python. Like they all just put on the Holy Grail, and everyone was like into it.
Everyone loves the Holy Grail. My favorite out of the 3 though would probably be the Meaning of Life.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Holy Grail is my favorite.
Definitely the Holy Grail for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a lot of people say Life of Brian over Holy Grail, but I just like Holy Grail better.
I got them both up there, like those two. Meaning of Life didn't strike with me as much, but I should watch it again. I can't remember much of it.
Have any of you seen any of the Flying Circus stuff?
Yeah.
Just random like here and there
random bits,
skits and
because they did
the Ministry of Silly Walks and stuff.
Yeah. what's the name of the?
John
there was the
Cleese.
other 4th one. It's like, and now for something completely different.
Oh yeah.
I think
I don't think I've seen that
Did
one.
they do the sketches again, or is that a compilation of like the best sketches?
Oh, they refilmed the sketches.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop that. That's serious, yeah.
Have you got any more?
Well, The Matrix, I mean, that is like pretty much my favorite film. The Matrix. That shit blew my goddamn mind.
The first one, right? Or the whole thing?
Well, the first one definitely blew my mind. But I think Honest Trailers puts it best. It's like the first one that you love, and it's like those 2 scenes from the second one that you love, and then none of the third one, or whatever it is. Because I really do like a lot of the stuff from the second one, like the Burly Brawl, and the way and him flying, especially when he's going after Trinity, and like his hand clenches on the couch when he's like not in the Matrix, and then in the Matrix, and he's flying all the cars like going past him. Just some of the visuals, like it doesn't hold up. But as a kid, it still came across, and I just was like blown away. And your ability as a kid to kind of like hone in on the good parts and ignore everything else is unfathomable, because like there's so much crap in Matrix 2, and even the Star Wars prequels. Like as a kid, you're like this part, you're like, it's the best movie ever. And then like you watch it as an adult, you're like, there is an hour between those parts. Like, and you're like, how did I sit through this?
Did you guys ever, as kids, skip through it?
No,
never skip through
That's
them.
amazing. I didn't like. You just watch it. Like, I don't think you're like not allowed to. Like, it's almost like blasphemous. I think nowadays I do. I'm like, and then like, good part, yeah.
When we were like young, we sometimes would skip bits of Lord of the Rings too, and just watch the fight scenes. But the fight scenes, like the Battle of Helm's Deep, takes like an hour and a half.
It's like a movie within a movie
because it's like cut up with all the other scenes. So we like watch like 4 minutes of like Aragorn, and then like skip 10, and then like watch it. Like, I don't know, that was crazy.
What's the thing is, like, you think it's just the fight scene, but then you get to it and you realize, oh, it's like intercut with like 3 other scenes.
Yeah.
Even everyone talks about the Darth Maul fight in episode 1.
Yeah, that's
it's
like
intercut with like
45
all
minutes
this
of the
other
film.
fucking bullshit. Like, I remember I like watching the film and I was like, screw this. I looked up the fight on YouTube where someone just edited it together, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah.
A really big one for me, because it wasn't really, because I have like a lot of childhood films, but they didn't really influence me until I was a little bit older. But my childhood film would have to be Narnia. I put that on repeat for years, and
so
I
that wouldn't
still
be the
do
new
it.
Narnia then, with those guys. When were you a kid?
You mean the books, sorry, or the movie? The first
No, the movie. the first movie.
Which I think was also shot in New Zealand as well.
Shout out to New Zealand.
No, I just put that on repeat, and the other.
I'm so curious by that because I can't even remember the old version. I mean, there was a newer one that was like, what, 8 to 10 years ago-ish?
Yeah.
Who's the
around
young
there.
girl in that movie? Who's the youngest of the
The
siblings?
name, Lucy.
Oh, Lucy.
Lucy. Have you seen her, how she looks like? She's like 25 now, and she's like smoking hot. It's so
weird to
weird because
think of.
it is. It's weird because she's like this little Lucy who's like missing teeth.
Missing T, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is this the film where James McAvoy plays the?
Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Mr.
film you're
Tumnus.
thinking
Yeah,
of.
it
Yeah.
is.
Right, okay.
No,
See,
yeah.
to me, I was like,
Breakout role.
I don't think of that as like a childhood film. 'Cause I
No,
feel like I was
but-
already like late teens when that came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was just like
That's so interesting.
I put that on repeat for years, and I still do. It's probably one of my favorite films.
So
It's
do you
Narnia.
love the sequels? Like, what do they do? The Voyage
Not
of the
so
Dawn
much.
Treader and...
Not so much. But it's just the first one. The first one really
It does
got
have
me.
a wicked battle.
Yeah,
And-
it just all of it
I
was
remember it being
awesome.
pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I saw Prince Caspian with a friend, and we enjoyed
I
that
enjoy
one
Prince
as well.
Prince Caspian.
Yeah.
That Ben Barnes, why is he not in more things? I was like, this dude's gonna take off. He's like handsome and he had so much charisma.
Yeah.
And he was Prince Caspian. And,
Yeah.
And he's not in that
gorgeous
much.
in that.
Yeah.
He was in Westworld.
Is he?
Briefly, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And then they did make Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
want to say, and I didn't see it, and I think that was the only one. I have
Not
all the
that many
books, and
people
I didn't
did,
get through
yeah.
them all because it was one of those. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe isn't technically the first one. There's one before it called.
The Magician's Nephew.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
I'm
well,
a big
that.
C.S. Lewis guy.
Yeah.
fun fact: the author of Lord of the Rings and the author of Narnia,
They were like best buds, yeah.
they
Tolkien
were
and
in
Lewis, yeah.
they
I heard
were
about
college
something
roommates.
Yeah, I heard something recently that I think C.S. Lewis either
Was
he
it
helped
C.S.
or he
or
did
J.R.
write a lot of the
Tolkien?
songs that are in Lord of the Rings in
Oh, yeah.
books and stuff like that. Yeah.
There you go.
I guess he had maybe had more talent musically.
Which just makes sense. Like Narnia is just like a child version, or like a more kiddie version of Lord of the Rings. But I saw Lord of the Rings before I saw Narnia,
I feel like
and I love them both. They're so
I
good.
love them both too, actually.
I feel like one episode could just be about like Lord of the Rings, like not even one topic, just like the whole thing.
I would happily do that. Talk
Yeah,
about that
me
all day.
too.
Costa, do you have any more movies?
Yeah, movies that made me. I again like Monty Python. Also Ace Ventura.
The Pet
I
Detective.
love the Pet Detective.
Ah.
Is that
I missed that whole scene. I think that Jim Carrey.
It's
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, yeah.
I like.
I
Jim
I
Carrey.
love those movies because
Yeah.
he's just this over the top zany character, and
Jim Carrey playing an over the top zany character.
what?
What? Actually, that's so funny you say that. Jim Carrey actually, I think, influenced me a little bit too. The way he contorts his face, like
Yeah.
the muscles,
Yeah.
and the way he does the like the Clint Eastwood, like like he does, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, like it's just funny. Like I don't know. I remember just being in the mirror and trying to like contort your face like as much as you can. You're like, hey, I look okay, and then you can like you just like move everything and stuff like that. He's got an incredible mastery of his muscles.
Yeah,
He's pretty good.
he's just something else, and it's not a film, but you mentioned it before. So the series Red Dwarf.
Yeah, Red Dwarf was a big one for
Oh,
me too.
I didn't necessarily
I
mean
never
to.
watched Red Dwarf.
I didn't. Yeah.
I've just got such a distinct memory of like my
Yeah.
brother and I. We'd get meat pies, and an iced coffee. Very Darwin.
Such a yeah.
That is so
Dark.
Tomo's
yeah,
pies,
mate.
Paul's iced coffee.
Then we'd like come home,
Paul's iced coffee.
just chuck them on, like
chuck 'em.
red dwarf, chuck on the dwarfage, squirt some
Dwarfage.
sauce on and munch on those pies, and it's just like every line I just crack up, and like I can recite every I can't recite it, but
That's awesome. That's really cool.
No, definitely Red Dwarf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Doctor Who too.
I think the
They were the
Simpsons
big ones.
as
Yeah.
well. Huge.
If I had to name a
huge
TV
influence.
series, probably.
I watched that every day because it used to be on Channel 10 at 6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock,
So
yeah.
you watch all the ABC Kids cartoons and then you switch over to The Simpsons and you get a little bit of the news. You'd be like, fuck off. News.
No, well,
give me The
It's
Simpsons.
6 o'clock.
in New
And
Zealand,
that's all for today on Channel 10. You're like, get over it. I don't care about the world. And then finally,
well, in New Zealand,
Early
the
Simpsons.
news and The Simpsons played at the exact same time. So I never got to watch The Simpsons.
Oh.
I'd have to record it.
You had to
And-
record
yeah.
it.
Wait,
Oh,
did
that's
your parents watch the
vintage.
news?
Yeah, they would
Early
watch the news. So
2000s.
it was always it was a pretty hard life back then.
We
for
never
The
recorded
Simpsons.
anything, I don't think, or very rarely.
We did. Yeah, my dad.
We just
got
went
into
to
it.
go to the video store, every like Friday night or something.
What a privilege that.
And pizza. You
Yeah.
know? Oh man,
The video
those were the
store.
days. I miss video stores.
Do
Hey,
you?
I go into them sometimes
I
just to
fucking
like.
can't stand them.
No,
Every disc
love
was
it.
so scratched and shitty, it never worked.
But that,
And then
the
you bring it in, and they're
magic
like,
of going
they're
in
like,
and like.
but it works on mine. It must be your DVD player. You're like, fuck off, mate. I bought this DVD player like yesterday. Like, I'm so glad things are going digital because discs just scratch. But also,
But it was so magical though. Like
Look.
if they could. Don't look at that.
I mean, it is cool to see everything lined up. It's like a library in that way, and that's what happened. I think my mum saw Monty Python, and was like, and then got it, and then like rented it out for us and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
always
you
rent
see stuff you're not expecting. Like on Netflix, it's like, what do I watch? You have to scroll through like thousands, or you have to search what you want. But you go into a video store and you see like everything just around you. Like, oh, I want to watch that.
Well, that's
It's
Netflix.
like
Now. I just
libraries
go
and
through
stuff.
it, and I'm like, add, and then my list is just like.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's like with the video store, there's a limited amount. Like you
Yeah.
go there like with your parents and you just say, right, you can pick 2.
Yeah.
So you think, oh, what 2 can I get?
And then you
Yeah.
watch
Yes,
them
but-
both within like 48 hours.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
because it was one that was like overnight or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like the new releases were overnight, and you
Yeah,
would get it. You get like 3 of them.
48
You'd be like, yeah, I can do it.
yeah.
But like, you know, these are all overnighters. You're like, yeah. Don't stay up too late. It's like 3 a.m.
Then you go home to a movie night, like homemade pizza, everyone's sitting around the TV,
Yeah.
like the tiny little TV in the living room.
Oh, I miss some days.
I remember the games were cool because you could rent out games. And I thought that was really cool. Again, go back to the reviews. A game that I was on the fence about, I could rent out, beat it, and then return it. And it's like, great, I just played this whole game for like $7.
Those are the days, man.
There was something else I was going to bring up about that. How did we get onto the topic of Blockbuster and Video Easy?
I don't know.
Oh, back in the day, yeah, renting out video stores. I remember renting out Pulp Fiction one time at like 12 or like
Yeah.
14. And I just
Oh.
came home and I was like, because my parents, I remember distinctly my parents would do this. They were like, that's a good movie. They're like,
But
wait till you're older, sort of thing. And I just like, that stuck with me. And then one day, I don't know, time is like, is irrelevant when you're a kid. Who knows how much time had passed? But I felt like I was like, you know what? I've grown up a bit. It's probably been like a week, you know. And so I like rented out Pulp Fiction, and I came home. My parents were just like, "How did you rent this out?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "It's R," and they like pointed to it, and I was like, "Oh!" And they're like, "How did you rent it out?" I'm like, "I don't know." Like, the guy clearly didn't give a fuck. He was just like, "Yeah, click." Like, here you go. Like
Get outta
Pulp
here.
Fiction to a minor. Yeah.
we once had to get my friend's mum to buy what's it called, 300 for us, because it was like MA 15 or something. We were like 13 or 14, I guess, and we watched it and we were just like, oh, well, that explains it. It's like pretty gory, but
Yeah.
we loved it though. Like we were ready for it.
It's weird because my brother, who's a lot older than me, would watch movies like Goodfellas and Scarface and Casino, and I just kind of be there.
Yeah.
So, you know, just like, oh, there's a guy getting shot in the head. You know, it's weird how it's like, oh, you're a child, don't watch that, but kids don't care.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they really don't.
I remember one time distinctly, I don't even know if my brother will remember this, like the only time I sort of censored that, I think we were watching Sin City one time. We were both like, yeah, let's watch Sin City. And like halfway through it, or maybe like 50 minutes in, I just sort of turned to him and I was like, I don't think you should be watching this. And he was so gracious about it. He was just like, he like nodded and like went out of my room. He was like, okay. And like went out. Like, I don't know, I guess he trusted me. I don't know.
Another really big film for me was Rear Window. I
again?
watched Rear Window. It's
Is that the Johnny Depp one?
no, it's Hitchcock.
It's Hitchcock, yeah. What's that one again?
And it's amazing. It's probably one of my favorite films.
That's not the one with the
Telescope.
The telescope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it- is it
so
in the-
it's
right.
really simple. The guy's in a wheelchair, broken his leg, and then he's just watching his neighbors across the road in all the windows, and that's
have
all you
seen
see. And this film was like such a big influence on me because it was when I started enjoying films and started really understanding that I have like a big passion for watching films, and that was like a thing my dad like threw at me, was like, watch Hitchcock.
Yeah, I need
Watch
to
the
more
birds,
Hitchcock.
watch everything, and so I did, and Rear Window stuck out to me because it was like, it just, you know how like it's so satisfying watching your neighbors, you're just like appearing in the window like looking in,
So glad I don't live next door to you.
but like I don't know, like it's just like it's just really cool because you're just like, oh my god, you feel like you're in that room too, watching all your neighbors, and you never go into the rooms, you're seeing it all from the window.
It's cool, yeah.
That's one of those funny instances where The Simpsons did like a parody of that. Like Bart breaks his leg and he's in the room, and I didn't know it was like a parody of that until way later. And that's the thing. Like,
There's so many they do so many parodies.
I watched
Yeah.
The Shining not that long ago, like maybe like a few years ago, and so many things made sense to me after watching The Shining. I was like, oh my god, so many references. So
They
many
reference
Simpsons
Kubrick.
episodes.
It was like the thing
Like,
too
so
with
many
the
things just make
stomach.
sense to
Does
me.
anyone else have
The only
anything?
last one I had was Pirates of the Caribbean, the first
That's
one.
exactly what I was about to
But
say.
more specifically, Johnny Depp's performance as Jack Sparrow, I think, ignited... Like, that was when you were like, oh, this is what acting can be. And you kind of... I just remember, like, wanting to act and walk like that and do the whole, like... like that kind of stuff. Like, I think there is, like, maybe a generation of actors that really were influenced by that performance. Because you're like, it made acting look so much fun. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I can dress up as a
Yeah.
pirate and pretend to be drunk. Or, like... And, like, well, not even that. Like, more stronger than that. Like, there was such a depth to it.
More
And such
stronger.
a fun
Johnny
element
Depp.
to it. Johnny Depp? Yeah. And I guess you could argue, like, Heath Ledger's Joker as well. Like, that, so many people wanted to parody
Yeah.
that. Because it was like...
It's iconic, I guess.
Yeah,
Jim
it
Carrey's
is.
in
His
the same
role.
category.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. I think, well, at least from my memory, that sort of sticks out to me as, like, the acting bug that I've got.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, but-
maybe stemmed from that. I reckon.
He kind of
Absolutely.
reinvented being a pirate because, you know, like before
Yeah.
that, like being
It
a
was
pirate is just
pirate,
like,
pirate.
"Arr!"
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was just savvy, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very...
Yeah.
It's got the
That
yeah,
rock star sort of.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Rock Stars of the Sea. And it's just... Is it Keith Richards? Is that it? Yeah.
Paul
Uh,
McCartney.
Was in...
The
One
latest
Five,
one,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's-
Well,
it's-
Keith Richards was in
Keith
it
Richards
as
was
his
his
dad.
dad.
It's his
Yeah.
father.
He's like, hello, yeah, he's like, good eye, Jack.
But he looked great as a pirate. He looked like
Yeah.
he just walked out onto the set.
They didn't even do anything. They're like, no, we don't need makeup.
They were like, do you want to borrow a hat? And he's like, I bought one from home.
They're like, you just need to pretend that you're drunk, Mr. Richards.
What?
I wanted to mention them before we
I'll
moved
say
on, but
action,
you mentioned them anyway.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, absolutely. Yeah.
Any more? Any last?
Oh, there'll be heaps more that come to me in like
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah, just and I guess all animated stuff. I think maybe like animation.
Every
I would
animated
watch
stuff.
Simpsons on sometimes just for the animation. I would just watch how they drew things and stuff like that. Yeah. All right. Cool.
I'll go into my topic
Yeah,
because just recently I saw Evil Dead 2, and that was a big game changer because it's a horror and a comedy, and I had seen films like it, but it was nothing like this. It was just crazy and big, and
So
like
fun.
it's fun. So I was like thinking to myself, I was
Yeah,
like,
watch
geez, like what's a really fun film that you guys have seen that doesn't have to be good, but is just like really like enjoying, and you're just like having like it's a crazy time, and you walk out of the cinema or like you're watching the screen like wow, like
I'm
and
not
for
gonna
me
say
it
what
was
you think
for
I'm
me it
gonna
was
say.
I think I
Evil
know what you're
Dead
gonna say.
Evil Dead
No,
2.
no. What do you think I'm gonna say?
Venom.
No, no, Venom we watched recently, and that would probably fall into that category because I had a great time. But it's funny, I had a few sort of things in mind, but now that you've told me like the context of Evil Dead, all I can think of is Fright Night. That movie is like the best horror comedy I think I know of. It's so funny. It's got David Tennant plays like this like washed up fake vampire hunter, and what's the kid's name from Yeltsin? Anton Yelchin.
Yeah,
Just before
no,
he died,
yeah,
he's like a
just
teenager.
before he passed away. Yeah, no, I have seen that,
That's
and that's
a brilliant film.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't want to look anything up because in case it stuffs up the recording, I don't want to look it up. But.
Oh, you gotta watch Fright Night. I'll watch it with you. The first half
I'd
hour
watch
is
that
like this
too.
proper like teenage sort
Yeah,
of horror
teenage,
film,
and you just-
you're like, oh, this is kind of scary. And then it gets like David Tennant gets
The minute he
introduced,
walks
and
in, it's so funny.
so
We're
good.
doing a horror movie night like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Watch some of these things.
Well, I want to see Nightmare on Elm Street because I still haven't seen it.
The first one.
Yeah.
Going
I
back
don't
to
think I've seen that. That's Johnny Depp. as well, isn't it?
introducing Johnny Depp. That was his first.
Is he
movie.
in that?
It's his first role. He's one of the teenagers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh!
he's so fucking cool.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
He's like, I don't know, like 20. He's like one of the first victims. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely Evil Dead 2 was just such a fun film. And I walked out and I was like, why can't like I want to experience this more with films, like to just have pure fun, and it doesn't have to be good quality, and it doesn't even have to be funny. It was just exciting and crazy and throwing you.
Zombieland.
Yeah, it was just like
Kick-Ass.
throwing. Oh, Kick-Ass was like a really
Fired
good
Up.
one.
Think of all those
Fire
like
up.
mid-range teen films that I watched like 6 years ago.
It wasn't a bad film. I'm Shaun of the Dead is one for me.
Oh yeah.
But it's not a bad film, but I went into it thinking, this looks shit. And then it starts, and then, I got hit by Edgar Wright. and yeah, it's just like, and the whole trilogy is just amazing. But yeah, I went into it
Fuzz
thinking,
Yeah.
was my
Hot
favorite.
Fuzz.
yeah.
Shaun of the Dead's my favorite.
Because they're so dry, like they don't really. There's no laugh track. Doesn't set out to make you laugh. It's funny because of what it is. Like I guess I don't know.
Some of the underrated performances, like I love the bit in Shaun of the Dead where he goes to look how over the fence, and it's so perfect. Like it's just this little children's slide, and he just kind of climbs up.
Yeah.
But the way they frame it, his head goes out of frame. He's like. And then he comes back down, and his face is just like this, and he's just completely changed.
That's
and
Simon
they're
Pegg,
like,
isn't it?
And they're like, "Well, they're zombies," and he's like, "Yep." And then, how many? Yeah. Those movies are fantastic. I wasn't overly fond of the third one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
like
love
Oh,
that
it was
one.
the
Did you?
pub crawl, was it?
Yeah,
End of
but
the
it
world?
turns into like a big
Yeah,
alien
that
battle.
I loved it
I
because
thought it
I
was too
just
stupid.
didn't know.
I
I just didn't
It-
expect it.
Same. I didn't expect it at all.
Yeah, like they're just in the toilet, and then you just gets into a
Yeah.
fight, and the guy's head explodes and it's blue. Like, what is happening?
Yeah,
I
I
just
really.
get more drunk throughout the film, and I love that.
Yeah. I remember watching that with mates, and we were like, the first half hour, we were like, oh, this is cool. It's about a pub crawl. These guys are funny as. And then the head explodes, and I was just like, what?
Yeah,
It's
like I
actually-
love.
saw the trailer. I knew that was coming. I don't know. I guess.
No, I think I love that type of excitement in a film, and I got that throughout the whole duration of
Yeah.
Evil Dead. It was exciting and what the fuck is happening? And then the end scene threw me off, and I was standing up going, what the fuck? It was so much fun. But yeah, I reckon all of that trilogy there's a really fun one too, because you just don't expect where they go in all three of them, because I never watched trailers or anything. I just watched them,
Yeah.
and it was my sister just put them on and was like, oh, here. And especially Hot Fuzz, and I was like, oh yeah, it's a police officer, and then it's just people start dying and getting killed, and I'm like, what the hell's happening? And it was the exact same with Shaun of the Dead. I was like, yeah, right, it's a normal guy, and then there's a zombie attack, and you're like, what the hell? And it's the exact same as the pub crawl. And I love that. I thought it was really exciting to not know anything and walk in. I think that's why these films are so good, especially Evil Dead, was I did not know or had not heard anything about this film.
They just kind of subvert themselves. I'm thinking stuff like Rick and Morty now, which isn't a film, but does the same thing for me. I always watch them, and I'm like, oh, that episode went in a different direction.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily class those as pure fun though. I feel like there's there's a
think it's
trend
a-
of things just being so miserable now. Rick and Morty's very depressing, and BoJack's very depressing and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But no, they are really funny though. I was just thinking.
I think
about
it's
how
more of a personal preference with
Well,
and
yeah.
enjoyment
See, to
and
me,
stuff.
when you say fun, I don't think funny. I think fun
Yeah.
subversive.
Yeah,
If I don't see it coming, that's when I
exciting
start
and-
enjoying a film.
yeah.
Like Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yeah, I
I
really
was going to say
enjoyed
that
that.
too. I think murder mystery sort of stuff where you're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And you're thrown into the deep end. And I think the first bit of that film I think was like that. It was much more. I think it kind of falters
Yeah,
later.
Mm.
And it made me want to go back and watch The Hateful Eight because that was a fun experience.
Yeah,
Because that was you weren't quite sure what was going on and who was bullshitting who. And when I saw it, it was a really cool screen where they had an interval.
Yeah.
So there was, I think, some big revelation, someone got shot or someone revealed to be someone. And then it was the interval. And we came out of that and everyone was like, oh my God. Everyone had their own theories. The friends I was with, one friend, he was like, oh, I bet it's this guy. He's like, this guy is the bad guy. And we're all talking about it. And then had a beer, went to the toilet, and then went back into the film and saw the rest of it. And that was really cool. I wish more films had intervals
They
like that.
should be like that, yeah.
Because it was
Yeah,
just
I
perfect.
miss a good
It was
interval.
it ended at a talking point, so everyone had their theories, and then you go back in and it's all their theories are
But
wrong.
it doesn't even have to have an interval. It just has to have that I don't know, the build up or something. Not all films
Like
can
a
do
hook
it.
or something.
You know that new one with the new Agatha Christie one, The Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh,
The trailer made it
no.
look like it was going to be like that, with all these suspects and stuff. But the movie wasn't that. It
No,
didn't
it
hook
was
me.
terrible.
The movie was shit.
It was-
I want to see it just to see how bad it is because I don't quite understand why it's so bad.
It's a
Everyone
beautiful
says that.
looking film.
Yeah, I
It's
was
a
just gonna say
beautiful
that.
looking
That
film, but-
I watched it and was like, the only reason why I stuck with it is because it was filmed really beautifully, and there was just one shot that got me hooked for it.
Was the over the top one?
Was the over the top
That was
bit
a
with
cool
the
one,
camera,
yeah.
and it was it was just really cleverly done.
And I thought that trailer was one of the best of whatever, was it last year? Because it had the Imagine Dragons
Yeah.
song.
That's why I didn't.
And it
like
didn't like... No, I love that song. And it was like just going down the train.
because it
and
was
it
so
wasn't,
like in the universe. It was on the train, and it was all cool, and it had all the actors.
It's a
And it
great
was like,
song.
and it's like, we need to find out who murdered them, and it was all like serious. And it goes like,
No, but like, yeah, when it's like saying like
and I was
listing
like,
them.
great,
and
now
the
I'm
intro of
fucking
the
out
song.
of it.
Yeah.
Now I'm in 2017 where things suck. Like I want to be like, it just took me right out of it.
No, it's cool.
I mean, I'm not hating. I mean, I like Imagine Dragons as much as the next person, but
But
that was
putting
just
it into an
such
old
a
style-
totally odd.
Really?
thing.
it was fun.
Putting it
Yes,
into
that
an
No,
was
I
so
loved
dumb.
it so much because it was just like
Oh.
it was a build up, like you said, panning through the carriage, and it's listing who the people
Yeah.
are, and it's the intro of the song building
That's
up
what
to
a
it.
trailer should be.
Yeah,
That
and
is a
it just
good
got me
trailer.
pumped for it. I was like, yeah.
It just took me out because it was like it's just like it's too popular. Like I was like, oh, it's Imagine.
That's
Dragons.
interesting.
Yeah, fair
but
enough,
I
I
guess,
guess.
yeah.
Like I like that the style that and it has like their things and they were like, what a murder? Oh. I mean, again,
And it's
it was like a big
yeah,
cast.
And it goes to each character. And
Yeah,
they're
there was a
like,
huge cast, and that sort of got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, not all of these people are gonna have that much screen time.
yeah,
I
which none of them
suppose.
did.
I mean, there was a
No.
huge cast: Willem Dafoe, Penelope Cruz, Daisy Ridley,
Yeah.
the dude that voices Olaf in Frozen, that somehow like got a hole in Hollywood now. Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
he's
that
been in a few
Olaf money.
things. Olaf money.
He's-
The master was in it too.
The master.
The old guy, the butler.
Kenneth
Oh,
Branagh
you
and
mean,
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. He's
Master.
Yeah, you know-
he's an old Shakespearean guy.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
gay, isn't he? I know
Yeah,
that.
very gay.
The Master.
From Doctor Who.
Yeah,
He used to play the master, like.
he was the
Yeah.
master for like
The David
2
Tennant
minutes.
series.
No,
Oh.
No.
Oh, before he changed into the younger version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear it starts with an S. This is all I've got.
I didn't sorry.
For Hero, he was only in Utopia.
Oh,
The film.
That's a
sorry,
fucking
the
stretch.
episode.
I didn't realize he was very famous. I guess I thought he was just like a British character actor.
It's funny. He's just like a British. Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was in this like little weird rom-com recently with Ian McKellen.
Yeah, Vicious.
Vicious. Yeah.
I love Vicious.
Do you?
Yeah, it's basically just Ian McKellen and this guy just kind of like being very bitchy and sassy to each other.
It's really
Just
weird.
these two old gay men just on a sofa, just giving each other sass.
That
And the
sounds
guy-
like that series that's like, what's this then, slut? That sounds like that, but with Ian McKellen.
But like English humor, yeah.
Yeah.
And the young guy who plays the really evil guy from Game of Thrones. What's his name?
Ramsay Bolton.
Ramsay Bolton, yeah,
that's
Iron
fucking
Rowan.
right.
Yeah.
He plays the like young sort of hunk dude that lives next door or whatever, and they're both like flirting with him. It's really weird to watch.
And somebody bring that up. It's so again like things that take me out of it. It's so jarring that I'm so keen to see Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
But the trailer that I recently saw that came off my feed, I guess Littlefinger's in it.
Oh, I
And
didn't even notice him.
His voice just completely like
Yeah,
he's like
Sansa.
exactly. he's like what separates you from the other rock stars? Whatever, yeah. And I was like, why is he about to kill them? Like,
I saw Bohemian Rhapsody last night.
oh fuck, is it good?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so high on that trailer. Don't
I'm
tell me
so
too much.
excited.
I won't say much, but
Sorry, I just thought of something.
it just
It's like, is the trailer good or is it just that I like Bohemian Rhapsody?
Imagine if the trailer for Bohemian Rhapsody was Imagine Dragons.
the bassist, the drummer. Yeah, and like it's
Oh,
like from just
Christ.
beginning to end. There was a lot of Queen songs in it, believe it or not. Oh.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Far out.
Oh, that
Oh
went
my
all
God.
over me.
I'm so sorry. Fuck. Oh my god, a towel or something. Everyone's like,
No, we're good. We're good.
oh, fuck.
I'm gonna bring an umbrella to the next one.
That was funny. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, I just drenched everybody. It's monsoon season. Oh god.
That's the best water spray we've ever had on the podcast.
You're welcome.
Do you need a minute?
No, we gotta wrap this shit up.
Oh my god.
Oh, fire up.
Yeah,
It's
so
a good movie. Good movie.
good movie. Yeah, like from beginning to end, it just really. Like it is about Freddy.
I think it's a French shit.
But like they also like it's like about the band, but also Freddy, and I feel like they do a story really well, and I would have like by the end of it, it was really both melancholy and really triumphant,
That's cool.
and it was
That's
just
great.
yeah,
Can you do a Freddie Mercury impression?
absolutely not, absolutely not.
He's very British, isn't he? I don't know. I can't remember what he sounds like when he talks.
He just says "darling" a lot.
Yeah. What's he say in the trailer? He's like, "There's
Darling.
only room for one screaming queen on this show," or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I can't do it though. I need to listen to
Rami.
Rami Malek. He's
He's
good.
great. Yeah.
He's really good.
You know, Sacha Baron Cohen was gonna play Freddy.
I can see that. I can totally see that. Yeah.
I can see that too, actually.
It
Although
kind
I'm
of
glad that he doesn't.
looks like him, and he can sing too. Like,
Can he?
He was
Yeah,
in
he was
Les
in Les
Mis.
Oh yeah, he was too. Yeah.
yeah.
He was one of the innkeepers.
This, but then again, so was Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
People gave him a lot of crap. I remember him being fine.
No, he was
I guess.
He was
alright.
alright.
You think so?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not a
he's
singer.
alright.
I've recently learned people are mad about La La Land because Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling aren't, I guess, classically trained or don't have the best singing background or something like that.
Yeah.
But to me, I guess my untrained ear, I was like, they were fine. I thought
They were
they
alright.
looked
Yeah.
the part and did the part, but yeah, I don't know. It
Russell
leading
Crowe was
into
probably
a-
the weakest link of Les Mis. I
Yeah.
think. He was.
That's why I just had to.
okay.
He was the weak, yeah.
He was just a bit, I don't know, flat, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not really a music guy either. Well, I play piano, but I don't sing.
No, I just flat. I like can have multiple meanings, I guess. Yeah.
I'm talking musically.
Musically, he was off key. Yeah.
He was really two-dimensional.
Yeah.
No, he was fine. It's a good movie, actually.
That's why the document.
Yeah, Les Mis is a really good musical. I really enjoy Les Mis.
I went to Les Mis as well. I haven't seen it since it came out. That was
No,
like the
neither.
first time I watched it.
It's too long to watch.
I went into it totally blind. I had no idea. Like I
Yeah,
went,
my
with, I went with a
mum-
girl. One of few dates I've been on. Like I went
You're
with
like,
this
let's
girl.
look for a happy film to watch. Why not? The French,
I
The
had-
Miserables.
Had no idea. Well, I should have maybe. I don't speak French, but no, because I knew she wanted to watch it, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to go with me?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." And I remember being like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Okay," and then we went, and she like got a box of tissues out of her handbag, and I was like, "Oh," she's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Right, we're in for a treat, I guess."
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, she was just like, "Do you want one?" I'm like, that was a sad movie.
Yeah.
I just remembered something, speaking of the musicals, another movie that I have no idea what's about recently. Has anyone seen A Star Is Born?
Not yet.
No.
What? Which
Lady
one?
Gaga
With Lady Gaga and Bradley
Oh.
Cooper,
Bradley
who apparently
Cooper.
can sing. He's been
No.
hiding that talent for a while. I thought it was a Lady Gaga biopic.
No,
I just
she
thought it was like
plays,
a documentary about her.
Oh, I never thought of that.
I
yeah.
thought it was like Eminem 8 Mile. I thought it was like it's like a movie about someone that's very similar to Lady Gaga. It turns out no. It's like an old old movie, old.
Have you
play.
seen it already, or
No,
the
no,
trailer?
no,
I
no.
thought looked good.
Yeah, no, so did I. I wanted to see it.
No, it doesn't look like my type of film.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, no.
It's
You
all
weren't
just
really
going real
quiet.
quiet.
Yeah, I was like, oh, crap. No, it doesn't
Now,
look
this
like my type.
podcast have this opinion. We've talked about this before.
No, it didn't look like a film that I would go and see, but I mean, everyone that has seen it that does enjoy them type of films has said it's really good. So
I'm probably not going to go out of my way to see it, but I'm keen to see it. I
Yeah.
think it looks alright. If it was on, I would watch it. And I had time.
If it was just on in front of me, I'd
Yeah.
watch it.
Probably. Maybe not. Depends on the mood. But there's a chance.
So was it fun movies?
Fun movies. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
fun
something that's just like
movies.
fun from beginning to end. Monsters Inc. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We can end there on that topic, I think. If you want.
Yeah,
And I think it
yeah.
leads sort of into your topic a little bit.
Yeah.
You're talking about like these films that are good or aren't good.
Yeah, so sort of it's a vague question, I guess, which is good because then you can just talk about it a lot. It's just kind of like
Which is what we always struggle to do. Is just to talk.
Yeah.
Talk.
This has been a great kind of just meandering. It's much more relaxed, I find. I think maybe because we're recording in the morning.
Yeah, we got a nice
Yeah,
cool
now
down.
it's
Fully
drunk,
awake.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically just what.
Offered you guys coffee or something.
No, it's
Nah, just water's fine.
water's good.
But not when it's spat on me.
Yeah, in fact, there's maybe too much water. I mean, but we won't get into that.
But yeah, like what's the common like factor or ingredient that can make a good, great movie? Like, what do they share in common? That.
Money. No.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Like, yeah, but I mean, like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, if you had said that as a serious answer, I would have like jumped on you because I would be like, no. I think low budget films with better writing are better than big budget films.
I mean, again, I don't know. It's about what you do with the money, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Lord of the Rings has a huge budget, and I think it works because they used it right.
Yeah, but Transformers have a huge budget.
They actually don't have as big as some other blockbusters. They actually use their money very wisely with practical effects and special effects. I'm not saying these movies are good. I'm just saying a lot of the stuff, like...
That's interesting, yeah.
They had X-Men Origins Wolverine and Transformers side by side, and I think they had similar budgets, and Transformers, like, special effects look incredible, and Origins Wolverine looks fucking horrendous with those CGI claws and, like, all that garbage. Like,
Yeah, right.
there's some movies you look at and you're just like Batman v Superman had, like, you know, like upwards of 200 million or something like that, and you're just like, where did that money go? Like, where did
It's
it
the
fucking...
cast as well. Like,
yes,
the Marvel films have huge budgets, but like half of that goes to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
The granddaddy.
The
Granddaddy. I don't want that to catch on. I can imagine him watching this podcast and being like, yes, I want people to call me the granddaddy.
For me, it's kind of that uniqueness, that every film shares. It's kind of like
Every
no, but
film.
like no. Yeah, I realize what I just said.
Every
No, I
movie's
think-
unique. Yeah.
I kind
Will
of,
be.
I'm just trying to think of like really good films, and they've just, I think timing as well is really good. Like,
Pacing or like timing of delivery or...
no, but when they get released,
Oh, that's what I thought you were going to say.
yeah.
Like,
I didn't think of that, but that's a good
relevance?
point.
Yeah, because it was like, well, The Thing was repeating a film. The Thing wasn't really recognised because E.T. came out at the same time. And
Yeah.
people didn't like it because E.T. was compared to it. But over time, people realised The Thing was actually really good. And it is a fantastic film. So,
There's a lot like that. Like, good films
Yeah.
just got dwarfed.
yeah. And,
I like Star Wars came out before they had CGI. That was a good time. They chose to
Yeah.
come out in the 70s.
I don't know. Dialogue for me. I love a good
That was
dialogue.
your topic last
That was my
yeah.
topic last
week,
time
yeah.
as
I
well.
can't remember what I said for that. Who's the writer of it's not Steven Sonberg, but he's alright too.
Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron Sorkin's good too. Who's the guy that wrote 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing? Does anyone remember?
Oh, I don't know.
But that guy is brilliant.
Thomas will kill us. That's his favourite.
Yeah, I know.
Favorite
We
writer.
talked about it
Yeah.
last week, and I knew it last time we did a podcast, but now it's gone.
Did you have... What were you thinking of when you thought of this topic, Kosta?
Well, I had an idea before I came here. Now, with the conversation that we've had, my idea's changed. I came in here thinking, it's definitely the writing. It's definitely like the idea and all that. But now I'm thinking it's about expectation.
That's interesting.
You know, you walk into a film, and then when it just changes on you, you think, whoa, okay, and you kind of have to like quickly readjust because you walk into, like, no matter what, you walk into a film with expectations, and so when it can change on you, or when either writer or director can find a way to turn it around on you, then they've really got you, and they can do, like, you're in the palm of their hand, and so I think maybe that's what can.
I think
make a movie
expectation
great.
is
Yeah, that's a
it's
big
huge.
one.
And it's a good word for it. As
If
well.
I ever make a film, I think I would just market it to make it look like it's absolute shit. and then people would see it, and then they would just be like, "Oh."
Well,
I think
I
that's how you
knew.
make a cult classic,
Well,
I guess.
that was-
It's so subjective, like expectation, but yeah, definitely.
I think a lot of that comes back to writing anyway, but it's not
Yeah.
always, because like you said, it can be the director or it can even be the actor who subverts
Well, it
it.
comes back to trailers and all sorts of stuff. Of like,
Yeah.
setting that. I think you like set that expectation, and sometimes it gets overblown, or sometimes not. Like I thought Venom was going to be just garbage, but I had like a lot of fun. And then Avengers: Infinity War, like our expectations were so big, and I thought it still blew me away. I think because I think it was like it gave me what I wanted, but it still surprised me. Well, there was better wording on it. It's like it gave me exactly what I wanted, and yet I didn't expect anything. Like
Yeah. And that can be within the film as well. Like it doesn't have to start with a trailer even. Like if the first 10 minutes and then there's something changes, like even if you didn't watch the trailer, sometimes you can have it subverted for you within the film. I guess that's what a good film is. I think like every sort of couple of minutes, every scene, even there has to be something new that just like keeps you like
I love Queen. Like Queen's my favorite band. So going to that movie last
you
night.
should watch Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
You
should.
probably really like that.
I might, yeah. But I walked into there and I was thinking, this has to, fulfill every expectation I've got of what I want this movie to be. And then when it, I'm not gonna go too far into it, but when it changed from what I thought it was gonna be, what? Yeah, and I was like, this movie's it's gonna be this, and it's taking this direction. So I thought, okay, yeah, and I had to like clear a slate in my head and just take it in.
Is that why your hair's long? Is like a tribute to Queen, or is that?
Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to grow out this really shitty moustache.
I thought that's a little bit Freddie Mercury. Yeah, that looks really good.
Piss off.
Sorry.
You're good.
I think this conversation, like we're all talking about what makes the ingredient, like that special ingredient that makes a good film. I think it's everything. I think it's everything we sort of talked about.
I mean, expectations.
I think it's proper planning and collaboration. Like you see a lot of directors, they work with the same people because they sort of share a similar vision. I think like Christopher Nolan turns to Wally Pitts first. I don't know how to say his last name, and he's like, "Yo, I want this shot. It's kind of like this shot." He's like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about." And he's like, "Yeah." They just nod at each other. They get it. I think. I think it's creative freedom as well. Like so many movies fail because there's too many like cooks in the kitchen or too many producers. Like that's why The Hobbit failed because the Battle of the Five Producers, whatever it was, and Amazing Spider-Man. There's all these people like trying to shoehorn in different elements, and you lose that initial vision. So I think you need that special someone like Christopher Nolan or Spielberg. These people that have gained people's trust or like producers' trust. They're like a bankable name. And they give them that freedom, and I think it's very hard to get to that point. And like Spielberg, I think he made Jaws. He wasn't like the first choice for Jaws, I believe, and he made it and it did very well. I'm like, this guy's good. So they gave him a little bit more money, and he made a really good film. They're like, wow, they give him a bit more money, and he made a bigger film. Like he made like Jurassic Park, and then like after a while they're just like, you can do whatever you want. Like just how much money will you check? Here you go. Like they trust you and they give you that creative freedom. Like they don't need a producer breathing down their neck. They can make that. And yeah, I think like because it is such a collaborative effort. There's so many people involved. And yeah, like Lord of the Rings. Like I think they were in pre-production for like 2 years or something like that. Like they planned everything so that it like no.
They built the Hobbiton and then they just left it for all the fauna to just grow.
Yeah.
So it was all real.
Yeah.
They built it.
It's interesting that they make stuff and then they have to make it look shitty to make it look like old and stuff like that. Like they'll just like, weather it down or like destroy something. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's just so many moving parts. It's a wonder any film's good, to be honest. You know, like even working with small productions that I have, there's just so many moving parts. You know, people need to be fed and watered, catering. But there's actors and there's lights, and I mean, we just had trouble before this getting this little sound system set up.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being on a big set with like the thing?
Yeah, that's because our intern's useless.
Yeah, but yeah, oh god. But even there's like PAs and assistants and directors and producers and writers and lighting and sound and stuff like that, and then actors and egos and there's just a lot going on. You give up 2 years of your life, and you have to get 90 minutes of it right.
Yeah.
And that's like an interesting thing to think about.
It's cool though. I think,
Yeah.
it's hard to. You're right. It's hard to limit it to one part.
Well,
But I won't give a bogus answer and just say everything.
Well, I wish I was like Felix, so I'm just happy that we have films as a medium. You're like, oh boy, a film! It's 24 pictures strung together on a screen, laced with sound. Like, it's amazing.
Laced.
Felix is
That's a
the
good
best.
word for it.
Yeah. Whereas we're like, this movie, blah blah blah. Like, anyone have anything else?
Nice.
Well, I was
Special
gonna say
ingredients.
writing, but yeah, I think everyone else has sort of expanded on that, so that's probably for the best.
Sorry.
You guys have improved on that answer.
What was your answer again?
I was gonna say writing.
Writing.
I think it's the writing of a film.
I guess because that's kind of the starting point. Like that's like the seed.
Yeah,
everything
I
kind
think
of
that's
grows.
where you need the concept. That's
Yeah.
where you need to pretty much have the dialogue and the plot and the pacing.
Yeah. It's like if you have a shitty foundation, then it's gonna not turn out.
Yeah,
that
if
great.
you have a great foundation, I mean, you know, the only way it can go wrong is if you have bad acting or bad cinematography, I guess,
Yeah.
beyond that. And, you know, even if the cinematography is bad, like, at least, you know, you can sometimes still enjoy it if it's well written.
Yeah.
But there is so many elements like delivery, like you know you can
Yeah.
and I think about this with like comedians, like they can have like the best joke, but if the delivery's not right, then it doesn't hit, it doesn't necessarily work.
And that's timing of, like, the matter of, like, a second here or there, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just, you gotta read the audience or read the... Yeah,
And
it's-
it's there's so many parts. Stuff like But I do like the idea of the sort of foundation. Like I think that needs to be fairly solid.
Yeah, I think so. That would be
Before
my
you
answer.
branch it. Like, oh, we'll just write it as we go. Like one of the best things I saw quotes, it was like, what is it? It was like, I think it was very brave of them to improvise all of episode 8.
That's exactly what I mean though. Like if you're gonna produce a trilogy, which they knew it would be, they should have had a vision from the get-go. That
Yeah.
a consistent anyway, we could talk about Star Wars or whatever. Or,
Well, so we
but
get Thomas
TV
back to
shows
talk
are the
about-
same. You know?
yeah.
Like TV shows, so often they do like season 1 and they're like, well, I guess we should start planning season 2 now. It's like, no, you should have been planning that before.
I feel like
Even if you weren't gonna get it, I mean, you know.
sometimes I'm like, people just shouldn't say anything about what they're working on because they just like.
Yeah.
That's another thing that feeds into expectation. Like, with fans, like, what do you mean? Like, when you said this sort of thing. Like, even with episode 8, they were like, oh, Ray learns, don't meet your heroes. Haha. And I was like, what is that? What? And like, even, this is a bit of a, like a, it was one of the Resident Evil movies. Like the third one. And it ended on a big cliffhanger. And I remember reading an interview about the director, and he was like, yeah, no, there's no plans to make another one. I was like, what?
There's a difference between leaving the audience wanting more and,
And
not
being
finishing the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a dumbass. Yeah. Like, oh, Christ. I don't know. I had something, but I think it's gone. Should probably just sacrifice like a goat to the gods. Like that's the special ingredient. Please be good, please.
The god of theatre.
It really is some sort of
Yeah.
dramaticus. Yeah.
Dramatic. I think it's called theatricos or something. I don't know. There would be.
Do you know what Costa?
Yeah, he's right. Yeah.
Anyway.
I always thought that was what Greek Orthodox was. They were like, yeah, it's
So many
Zeus.
people have said that. So many
I was
people
like,
have said
like
that.
Zeus and Apollo, like Zeus and all that. They're like, no,
Yeah.
dickhead, the new gods. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was cool. I thought it was like Zeus and shit and Hermes and.
How
Hera.
cool would it be if you go to
Heracles.
church and it's like they're
Yeah,
talking about
big statue
yeah.
of Zeus.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't get past this now. I'm going to be thinking about this all day. I'm going to drive past an Orthodox church on the way home and I'll be like, oh, where's the statue of Zeus?
So I thought, why would you get rid of?
I don't know. Why
who
would you do
says
that?
enough of these gods? Let's just fucking flip it and try to make new ones. Should we?
Let's flip it back.
Yeah, like the world's shit. Let's go back to like Zeus and all those
If
guys.
we still prayed to Athena, maybe there would be better harvests.
Yeah. The old. It's weird when they say like the old gods and the new. It's like at some point they've just made new ones.
It's not like a set of new gods. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it just like a Catholic Orthodox.
It's
sort of
yeah,
thing.
it's just Christianity.
Yeah, it's Christianity. It's Greek. Yeah.
So you gave up Zeus for Jesus?
I didn't.
Oh, but
Costa's like, hang on, don't put me into
you
these
see
guys.
for all of
There's a shrine to Hermes in my house.
You know what I learned recently about Scotland as well? You know what our national animal is? Do you know what the Scottish national
The
animal is?
butterfly.
Is it a bear?
No, it's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's a
right.
bit-
Yeah.
It's a made-up animal.
Wales is like a wyvern or something.
Yeah, that's
And
kind
England,
of
isn't
badass.
England like a dragon, like
Why
St.
is
George?
Scotland a unicorn? It seems strange to me.
When I
It
think
seems
of
too
Scottish
dainty and
people,
like prancing.
Yeah.
Like, Scotland. But a unicorn.
Should have unicorns running on the Highlands.
hey, that's not bad.
Me and Costa just do voices like all the time with Coro, yeah. All the different stuff.
That's good. That's great.
Like the Auntie Donna stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
Or you're a bloody Borscht. You do it better than I do. You got like you play the boys part. The
Oh,
brother.
Like, you're like, oh, bloody man beast. You know?
Oh, see Smike tossing.
I would marry Broden.
What a strange episode.
Would you rather watch an old film that's like well written or a new film with like awesome special effects and stuff?
Old
Yes.
film, well
Yes.
written, for me.
Yeah, same. Done.
That's an odd question. An old film with special effects versus a new film with an old film with good writing versus
Yeah, like-
a new film with
Like a
special
black and white film sort of thing.
Then it,
Like a
All
classic
about the
versus like
dialogue.
because I know people who can't watch old films. Like as soon as it starts and it's
Yeah.
like shitty camera,
Yeah.
black and white, they're just like, no, can't do it.
Yeah, we talked about this. You do have to adjust your kind of
Yeah.
your mind. Yeah,
my dad loves westerns. I can't stand them.
just picking up
I-
that Red Dead 2.
Westerns,
It
what,
just-
like Clint Eastwood sort of.
No, like John Wayne.
Oh wow.
I'll
Yeah.
go on further
Like-
back.
Like Shane that era.
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Recently I read something. He played Genghis Khan in a movie, which is interesting.
John Wayne.
John Wayne played
What
Genghis Khan.
the fuck?
Yeah. I was like,
The ultimate cowboy kind of played the ultimate Indian, I guess.
yeah, it's like, I mean, people get mad now when ScarJo wants to play a trans woman.
I love that. That's my favorite meme though. Every time there's like a new cast.
Oh, and she's collecting it. It's like the Infinity Gems. It's 8-year-old trans kids. Oh my god. No, but I was like, oh, John Wayne played Genghis Khan. I was like,
That's fucked.
that's a bit. 'Cause sometimes I'm like, oh, PC political correctness gone too far. But I'm like, no, this clearly, like, I'm like, no.
Yeah, but it was different in those days. Like Peter Sellers in like his Indian getup for like.
Like, what's an Asian? No. Yeah, no, it's just like big names.
Yeah, it's just big names.
What's what I was saying about the singers with La La Land? Like the big names back then were performers, were dancers and singers, like Singing in the Rain, like and Gone with the Wind. Not
yeah.
Gone with the Wind.
We can agree that the blackface is not on, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't think any of that stuff is good. I mean, it was never right. I just think people get upset about it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I would say.
What's the wrong reason?
Well, like with Scarlett Johansson in that film
Oh, Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell, like, you know, I was reading through the comments and people were like, why didn't they pick this person or this person or this person? I was looking through it and I was like, I don't know any of those people.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't pick her. Like,
It comes down to money.
yeah,
a
it's
lot of
money
the time.
and it's like profile and stuff.
like-
Like, I'm not saying ScarJo was the best pick for that movie. I mean, it was a pretty bad movie anyway.
Yeah.
But like, if I can't name the other, you know, it's the same thing with what's that movie? The Netflix film, The Queen, or the series, whatever it is. Everyone's like,
Oh,
why
The
does Matt
Crown.
Smith get paid more than the actress who plays
Oh,
the Queen?
yeah, yeah.
And there was this whole big like national thing about it. All the talk shows were talking about
Yeah.
it. And it was like, because everybody calls her the actress that plays the Queen. Everyone knows who Matt Smith is.
Yeah.
It's not about like a male-female thing.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
profile
not.
thing.
It's
This
not-
is Doctor Who we're talking about.
It's tough when it gets into acting because it is so arbitrary or like it is so different. Like, what's up?
Sorry, I touched his foot.
Some footsies.
Who's winning?
Me.
It's the whole table. Yeah, it's interesting. Like everyone got mad with Gal Gadot, and it's like, well, she's not really been in another film. Like Wonder Woman is her
Oh,
breakout
you mean
role.
because she was getting
It
paid
was like she
less
wasn't
than-
getting that much for Wonder Woman or something.
Yeah, it was
But
the first
like,
movie she ever like.
Yeah, but it was
headlined
like
or whatever.
the takeaway I took from that is like she's gonna make a mint on the second one.
Yeah.
Like think of it. Yeah. But I don't know. In
Yeah,
some
she'll
ways,
be like the highest paid actress in 2020 probably, and
Yeah.
everyone's like upset about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Well, they took a
That's
jab-
how the industry works.
I remember. Yeah, I think one of the award shows they took a jab at Jennifer Lawrence because it was like, oh, she didn't get paid as much or something like that. It's like, oh, boo-hoo, you only made 5 million.
Yeah.
Or something like that, as opposed to 6.
Yeah, like Ricky Gervais was just like, how
Yeah.
could a 25-year-old live on 52 million?
There are exceptions to that. What I've just said though, like Robert Downey Jr. gets paid way too much. I think he's on like Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, like Chris Pratt. He's like on all the other Chris's wages combined, and then some.
Really?
He's like half of their actor's budget. He
Yeah.
gets paid obscene amounts of money.
He is the granddaddy.
He's the granddaddy.
I mean, he likes playing it too, which is cool. Like, he came back.
Yeah.
It's just because he's not acting. That's him.
Yeah.
Tony Stark is him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he made something like 50 million, I think, on Avengers, and I think Chris Hemsworth only made like a couple 100,000 or something like that.
Oh, I can't name figures. I think in the new Avengers they all made a couple of million, but yeah, he made.
Well, he fought to get he fought
Yeah.
to make them get paid more, I think. And it's so funny because
just sacrificed half of.
he just does like a couple of push-ups and he's like, yeah, I'm Iron Man. Whereas these other guys are like every day, twice a day in the gym.
He's
like,
just ahead.
eating like chicken and brown rice and shit, trying to look their absolute leanest and best. Oh, fuck God. Yeah. I don't want to get... That wasn't even your topic, but I don't want to get too much into it, I guess.
No, did we just do it?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll go the old film, I suppose.
For me, it's an old film.
Unless it's like
Definitely.
groundbreaking, like Blade Runner 2049, like those effects.
Yeah, that was a good film.
That just sucks you into that world, like, I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
I
didn't think
loved
the
it.
writing was that good.
I
Every
kind
time
of-
Jared Leto was on screen, and he was just doing that like dramatic, like futuristic mogul thing, like where he's
It
like,
didn't bug me as much as I expected to. I hadn't watched a movie in so long with such a realized world. Like, it was so built up and just so much detail and love, like, yeah, it felt like so otherworldly. And yeah,
Yeah.
it was our world, I thought. It was
It was
there.
a good
In
film.
terms of world building, I was up there with Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and stuff like that, I thought. Just like, it was so unique, like the way that they used the technology and the way they wore and the locations and stuff like that. Like, I think, yeah, maybe it's not as good as a film as like those films, but I think in terms of world building, yeah. It's like Mad Max. I just watched that recently.
Mad
That's
Max.
Like, yeah, like Mad Max. There's not a lot
Like
of
Mel
writing in
Gibson.
that. No, the new one. I actually
Oh.
haven't seen the Mel Gibson ones.
They're alright.
Yeah. Does he talk? Is he all Aussie now?
Yeah, he's Aussie.
Dude, Tom Hardy's accent is all over the place in Mad Max. In fact, his voice. Oh god, don't even get me started on Tom.
What?
Hardy.
He's always
Mad
got
Max
his
is a
face
great
covered.
film, though.
Yeah.
It's because he's so ugly. He's got a contract. Yeah, they won't let him show his face.
Mel
yeah.
Gibson or Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy.
Oh, with the mask.
Yeah, yeah.
He was like, oh yeah.
Nah, I'm just kidding. That's not true.
The worst part about that movie was when he's got the mask and it's already distorted, and then he puts a microphone towards it as well. And he's like, 2 filters on my voice. That was bro down. Anyway, we should probably wrap up.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, thank
Sorry
you.
for drowning you all.
No, that was the best bit for me.
It's good. I didn't have a shower, so yeah. Don't need one now.
Just
Dirty hippie.
Yeah, just like a sprinkle.
Been spitting on me since the day we met.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks.
Yeah.
For having me on.
Thanks. It
you
was
for
nice
having me
to
back.
meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, we'll have to get you back
Nice to meet you,
another time
Kosta.
in 3 months.
Yeah.
When our fucking everyone's schedule align in such a way. Yeah, good lord.
One day.
All right, guys. Thanks for
Okay.
listening.
Alright, thank you.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Buy Malediction.
You told me to put them there.
Available November
8th.
8th. Buy it.
Show
all
off
And
good
beautiful
support
work.
local authors in Darwin. It'll be
Yeah.
really good. It's about a cursed play. People die. There's love and drama and tension. And it's very Shakespearean. Check it out. Costa, do you have anything to plug?
What he said.
Costa's in a Shakespeare play coming out December?
December.
Oh yeah, Love
Yeah.
Savers Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LOL.
Oh, I guess yeah.
Lol.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Watch out for that.
Sorry, I
L.
just sorry.
Triple L.
Because it's triple L.
It's Love Labour's
La, la, la,
Lost. It's like December sometime, right?
Early December.
Yeah, like the 7th and 8th, I think. Check it out.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.